The risk register is the guts of your health and safety management practices. It's really just a prioritized list of risks with all the risk assessment and risk treatment information included. It's the main tool for managing risks in the workplace and should be easily accessible, read and understood by everybody. But before you get into creating one, have a look in your health and safety management system template and make sure that the risk matrix suits your business. Make sure that the descriptions for consequences and likelihood are suitable too. It may be that the ones in the template are perfectly suitable and don't need any modifications, but now is the time to make sure. It's easiest to use a spreadsheet like Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel to create one, as you can then sort the list in any way you like. To create one, you can start by downloading the blank template below and transfer any pre-existing risk information to it. There's an example entry to help you get the ball rolling. So just as the template that you downloaded before, you'll notice that this is view only. So you can either download this as a Microsoft Excel file or another format file, or if you want to edit it in Google Docs, you can make a copy. So let's just rename this Risk Register and let's save it sensibly in that same safety folder. So there we go. Now you should be able to edit this document. So the first risk that we've got in here, this example one, is about travel on the road. It's obviously a medium risk sort of a thing to do. Often travel on the road is one of the higher risk activities for any business. Anyway, so let's think about adding another one. The first one's about the road, so maybe we'll talk about the car park. And the same hazard really, we're looking at vehicles causing harm to pedestrians, really. So what kind of controls are usually in place for this? In our car park, we drive at walking speed only. And if you want to add another, if you just press return or enter, it's going to bring you to the next cell. So if you want to add an additional line within the same cell, you're going to have to hit Alt and then enter, and that'll give you another line within the same cell. So another control that we use to reduce the risk of causing harm to pedestrians in the car park would be reverse parking only. So with those two controls, we're only driving at walking speed and we're going to reverse park. So the maximum likely consequence for this sort of an incident, we're not talking about a fatality. If we're only driving at walking speed, we're probably not even talking about a serious harm injury. I'm thinking more like a number 3, which would be a moderate sort of a level incident. And then the likelihood of that happening with those controls, it's probably quite unlikely. So we're looking at probably a B. And you'll notice there that the risk score is automatically generated. Be careful to use the lowercase letter only, because this calculation won't recognize an uppercase letter. So also with that in mind, this final column is a calculation, so don't type anything in that row. And yeah, you can go ahead and populate all of your workplace risks within this risk register. Ideally, you'll do a broad brush type risk assessment with a selection of people from around your workplace, or just start brainstorming yourself and get other people to input their ideas later. Either way, it's a good idea to break down your business into small components so that you can take a good hard look at each individual aspect of what you do. That way, you're a lot less likely to miss a risk. Start by identifying all the things that your business does, and then think about ways in which people could get harmed. Don't forget to think about health issues as well as safety issues. For each of these risks, write down the things that you already do to control them. Then assess the level of risk that they present to people at the workplace. You can easily sort the list or color code it to highlight your top risks. You might choose to sort your risk register based on task or activity, or by work area. Whichever way works best for you and your business is the right way to do it. It may be that you don't need to implement any new controls, or you might find that this process helps to identify new ways to make your workplace safer and healthier. Either way, your risk register will become a valuable asset to your business and will set the foundation for a safer and healthier workplace. The risk register will become a useful training tool for new employees and an essential communication tool for planning to work with other organizations. But its usefulness is limited by its completeness, so try to include as much detail as possible, particularly for the higher risk activities. Below are a selection of example risk registers from a range of different business types. So have a look at these and then have a go at starting your own risk register. Take some time to get this right. It's really the only item that you're going to have to spend much time on. So give yourself a couple of hours or a half day and get it done. Remember though, that it's always going to be a work in progress. It's a live document and will change over time. So don't get slowed down by perfectionism. You can always add to it or modify it later.